Hey, it's Mark. A few minutes ago, I passed a school which led me to start thinking about the education system and whether it, which has certainly become antiquated, is really the sort of avatar, in a sense, for what's happening with the healthcare system. You know, the American education system wasn't developed to truly educate people. It was developed, especially in terms of the movement in the early 1900s, or perhaps it was the late 1800s, Horace Mann and the creation of public schools. I mean, the point was to socialize people, to make sure they had the skill set to sit still long enough and to listen to the supervisor, that is the teacher, long enough so that when they graduated they'd be able to work in factories. It was the industrialization of America, the move from farm to factory. Well, in a sense, hospitals are in the same sort of a mess. You know, they grew for hundreds of years only to become factories that for the most part have answered a question that applied to a prior time, not to the current time at all. So we're seeing a slow and in some cases speedy destruction of the hospital quote system. We're seeing hospitals close at record rates. We're seeing hospitals shrink. We're seeing hospitals become bedless. We're seeing hospitals close our emergency rooms. We're seeing all of that. So what's needed is a shift in this concept of the hospital as the center of the healthcare universe. So where's it going to shift to? Is it going to shift to money guys and bean counters? Or is it going to shift back to physicians? Well, physicians is where I think that it should shift. But to do that requires creativity. The creativity is not going to come on the hospital side. It might come on the governmental side through force, but is that really a solution, or is that just a mandate? So for physicians to have a role in this, physicians need to, in essence, educate themselves entrepreneurially, much as many students are now educating themselves not through the formal education system, but through alternative channels. But at the same time, what's required is a change in mindset. So physicians just can't think that they are fulfilling a role, that they're allowing themselves to be aligned with hospitals. The mindset has to be a mindset of entrepreneurialism, not a mindset of going and getting an MBA and learning how to be a better manager, which is extremely different from being an entrepreneur. Now, absent that entrepreneurial mindset, physicians probably only have one of two other futures. And that is, they are going to be unhappy in the current role they're going to be in, you might be in, or they're going to be simply suited to be workers in the healthcare factory, whether that factory is the hospital or whether that's a factory run by a far more entrepreneurial physician. Think about where you want to go. Think about what mindset you want to have. If you need help, there's a lot of places to go. We can talk. We don't need to. You can figure it out on your own. But the notion of a healthcare factory, at least one that is hospital-centric, doesn't have much time left. It's going to soon be as boarded up as, well, parts of Detroit and other Rust Belt cities.